teams. So unfortunately, I'm not too familiar with these players, with their names, with these teams. So I'm going to be relying a lot on you here to fill me in on what the expectations are after the regular season on what to expect.
Yeah, and I am on the Falcons, so the Ravens are my single A team. And I have to say, they have been very pleased about how things have been turning out. Bren is actually a starter on my AA roster over myself because, I don't know, he's just better than me. So I'm hoping he does some really impressive things here for the Ravens.
Yes, is it a call down?
Call up every single game, yes.
Well, that's going to be impressive for sure, and definitely going to hope to see we can see some great things. As for the Cougars, of course, I think I do know. I think I have seen a bit of Nova. I think I've seen his games a bit, but I can't say a lot about the team. Because again, I haven't cast any of them at all. I have not done a lot of A's. So for me, this series is definitely just going to be looking at the teams, how they perform tonight, and really assessing them off of that.
Yeah, and hopefully they get assessed pretty well as the playstyles start to shift. Because right now it's just a lot of back and forth, and I'm hoping to see some more possession play as the game possesses.
Ooh, clamps. Almost lost that one through. Brent will keep it in, and Curly unable to get this touch out. And right now the Cougars being kept into their own half. And just, from what I've heard, from what I've seen from people in chat and the community, I do think the Ravens are favored heading into this series. I think I would check the standings, but I don't have the time to get it up right now. But definitely are a team with better stats. So we'll have to see what Nova Biscuit and Curly can do here to really, I think, impress us is what they're going to need to do. And, now that we're moving up, we're out of independent. So this is where we start to look at, we're looking at these players and we're saying, listen, your basic skills should be almost like they should be down. You should be getting consistent clears and consistent touches. You should be slotting away open nets as 2 misses there. Curly will finally put it through. A little bit sketchy there for the Cougars, but they do open up with the first goal.
Yeah, and to give you a little update, the Ravens are 14 wins in the season compared to the Cougars 12. This is the third team being the Cougars in the conference versus the second team in the conference being the Ravens.
2 powerhouse teams facing off as the Cougars open up with the first goal. And as I was saying, those are the basic skills that we expect to see. The rotations we expect to be on point. You want the clears to always be good. And what really sets these teams apart, what we're really looking at, is those individual mechanical plays, is those solo touches, and how much work you can do to create space and to create openings for your team. How good are those passing plays? Those are what we really want to see from these players. This is what we want to see from these teams, because they're at the level where that's what you're going to need to do to set yourself apart from the rest. That's what you're going to need to do to get to really show that you are better. And so far, the first goal did come off of a bit of a rotational mistake. 2 players committed up, and just a very nice counterattack got it around every single defender on the side of the Ravens. But other than that, we've had 3 minutes with very little action. As you said, it's been a lot of back and forth, a lot of feeling out. The Ravens have gotten a lot of shots out, but they haven't really necessarily been incredibly dangerous. They've just kind of been probing the defense and testing them, kind of like, hey, are you solid? You're good? Okay, you are.
Forget who said it. Actually, no. I'm not going to make that pun. I'm restraining myself a little bit for the single A matchup. But, the opportunities are kind of rolling in right now for the Ravens. But the Cougars are pretty easily clearing themselves out of the pressure, just not making the most time of their offensive pressure.
I think it's surprising here that the Cougars are holding on so well and just playing really, really solid so far. No mistakes coming through, no issues on the rotations, and some very good 50-50s at the midfield have meant that the Ravens, again, they've gotten shots through, but it's never been in a situation where they forced the defense to really respect it and respond. It's always been comfortable, and so far with this clock ticking down, we're into the final minute. It's still just a 1-goal lead, and we haven't really seen any huge attempts from the Ravens to try and tie this game up and remedy the situation of being behind.
And that is really what they need to do right now. They need to at least try. They got to send everything they have up and, suffer the consequences if it doesn't work out. Because at the end of the day, you either score or you get scored on. And right now, they've gotten scored on. They certainly have not gotten scored. They certainly have not scored yet. Hopefully that will change as they continue to put on more pressure with 20 seconds left in the game.
And even though it is just game one, those game ones can be ever so important, as we saw for the Scorpions. You know, they get the game one, and it gives them that little buffer to put them in ahead and to give them the extra few opportunities to win that game 7. As Clamps will find the first goal. 2 players committed up there on a challenge, and no boost on the side of Nova. Just, I think, poor recognition on the side of the Cougars about how, how easily they would be able to move into offense, and it's very, very swiftly punished.
Yeah, we are probably going to see an overtime unless there is some form of double touch here off of the... There definitely is some form of double touch coming up from Biscuit on the kickoff.
Biscuit. Just 1 touch, 2 touch, gets it off the backboard, puts it through. That's the kind of play that you want to see from Biscuit. Setting his team ahead with 3 seconds left. The Cougars making the mechanical outplays, and this is a great kickoff for them. Cougars grab game number 1, and it was a passive game, but the Cougars really look solid there.
I have to agree, Biscuit really came through with a dough at the end of the day. Sorry. I like that one. But the Ravens certainly had the pressure throughout the game, and certainly a game 2 can change things overall for either team. Cougars can either let off the gas a little bit and invite more pressure on the Ravens, which would be super dangerous for them, considering how little space they've already been given, with still having 9 shots on target for that game. On the other side of things, the Ravens can let off on that offense a little bit more and invite a little more pressure on the Cougars so that they can counterattack faster and better and catch the defense off guard.
Yeah, I think the Ravens were playing, but I mean, they had plenty of offense, but it never felt like they were really giving their all to their shots. It felt like it was more of a, all right, I'm going to, throw this, it's an infield pass and the shot's going to come through, but they weren't really respecting, I think, how strong the defense of the Cougars is, because mind you, these are 2 teams that are fairly close in the standings, even though it's, it's the 2nd and it's the 3rd seed. I think this is probably the most intense first round matchup that you could possibly get. These aren't 2 teams that are incredibly, I think, different in skill level from what we've seen so far, but maybe the Ravens will impress and come out here in game number 2 with a bit more zest in their step, a little bit more pep, to put these shots that they're getting and turning them into goals. But so far, as it is, game 1 going over to the Cougars, and again, it just looks solid from them.
And speaking of solid, we might have a nice flipper take here from Clamps. Unfortunately, did not turn out. Nova now with a lot of space to work. One thing I did not see a lot of last game was demo plays, even though that accidental items came out, and it's going to go in favor of the Cougars, up 1-0 right now.
Yeah, Nova gets the touch around 1, and Biscuit, he doesn't have to do a lot with that. He forces the touch from Clamps, and Mickey just gets caught up, out of position, tangled up in the goal, and such an awkward spot. It's enough for the shot to come through, and again, right now, the Cougars, both teams, playing this out a bit slower, and it feels like maybe a bit reluctant and a bit nervous heading into this match, but the Cougars have had the better end of it. They've found the shots and definitely making the plays where they need to. This could be it, though. A shot coming through from Bren. Finally, the Ravens going to get themselves all tied up here.
Yeah, and T-Man, the GM of the Ravens, dropping an "oh no" in chat. So even though, he's not on the field, he's certainly feeling the pressure that the Ravens are under right now. And they're certainly under a lot of pressure, being already down 1 game in this series and being in playoffs and being on stream. There's a lot riding on this game for them in terms of their ego and their future in the RLPC at the end of the day. So they really need to perform out here and do super well.
Yeah, and I think for that org, I think this is one of the only 2 teams that made it through to playoffs for T-Man's org. I think it was the A team here, the Ravens, and then his major team as well made it through. So obviously wants them to do well, but right now, the Cougars, again, they're making the plays when they need to. They're finding the goals. Nova beats 2 off this touch. 2 players committed up for no real reason, and he gets the double tap into the net.
Ravens doing what they do best in flying. Unfortunately, they flew away, and the net was left completely wide open for Nova to put that one in.
Definitely flying up for the touches. However, their flight path not exactly as clean as they would probably want it to be. As infield pass Clamps can't find the shot, and so far this game has been we've had a bit more action here in this game than we did in game one. Definitely both teams trying to step it up, but still, I think more impressive consistency from the Cougars, and Curly makes a nice play there to just delay time to give his teammates the opportunity to get back with a boost into net. And as we approach the end of the third minute, or the second minute, sorry, heading into the third, it's still going to be a 1-goal lead that stands, a 2-1 scoreline, which is what we saw last game. And, you know, it still feels like for the Ravens that they're not really being proactive on the offensive end.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, the pressure, again, is there, but the pressure has no purpose other than to, you know, put on pressure. They need to have a goal. Either A, shoot on target, B, get a center, or C, get a 50 to a teammate. And right now they're just kind of going for the ball, and the ball's ending up just getting very easily cleared from this kind of blatant, unnecessary pressure right now.
In the corner, Nova will find this one out as Mickey can keep it in. Brent gets a nice touch, but Biscuit, again, just already there. The Cougars playing this out very patiently, which is absolutely what they need to do in this situation. Wait for the touches to come through, find the best hits they can, find the clears. They're doing a great job of that. Biscuit will get this one into the corner once again, and time is being whittled away off this clock. The Ravens still struggling to really find an opportunity, and the Cougars kind of just running all over them as Nova almost finds a great double tap off the ceiling. It is turned away, but the shot initially was off anyway. And again, you know, for the Cougars, I think we're seeing more of those individual mechanical plays. We're seeing their players are the ones that are willing here to take chances and to step up to try and, you know, extend this lead. Oh, a few misses, but the shot also whiffed. Nobody able to put that one through for the Ravens.
And the Ravens kind of lacking the pressure they had. What they needed to was pressure with a purpose, and they ended up just not pressuring in these last 60 seconds or so. So hopefully they can get some, you know, purposeful insight in their mentality, in their comms, to get those shots on targets and the centers that they need. It's a great flick there by Bren.
Same issue that I think the Wolves were having in our previous match in those first two games. Of course, they managed to turn it around, but that was with a sub. This here is the starting lineup for this team, and they're having very similar issues, so you're going to want to see that patched up, but there's still time in this game to try and make something happen, to try and get some magic going. Only a goal separating the teams, but the 50-50s are all in favor of the Cougars. Their positioning right now super good to get these transitions downfield. A miss is just going to allow it to go through. Biscuit forces under the last defender, and 3-1 now for the Cougars in game two. Just really great play.
Not entirely sure what Mickey was going for that ball. Possibly a little small miscommunication between Bren and Mickey there about whether Bren was going for the ball, whether Mickey was. But either way, Mickey needed to remain back post a little bit longer because he got caught near post, and either way, could not have helped the ball in any circumstance, even if Bren hit it or not.
30 seconds left. A 2-goal deficit is not an easy comeback to make. It is possible, but with how the Ravens have been playing, with how well the Cougars have been doing here in these past two games, it does feel like it's not really something that's going to happen. Make it 4. Nova has the read, and that is game 2 coming to a close.
Yeah, it's certainly coming to a close with the 3-goal deficit here. Ravens need to get their crap together, putting it nicely. You know, defense is a little bit out of order. The rotation's not really there. Offense is there, but it's not doing anything productive. So something needs to change on either side of the field, preferably both, because right now they both need some adjustments.
Yeah, this one's just going to be driven out. The rest of this game will wind down. And yeah, for the Ravens, you know, it's really hard to say what they need. But, I mean, again, as you said, they need to have offense with a purpose. They need to find touches that are put into a spot where they know what they're doing with it. It shouldn't just be a touch towards the net. It should be, all right, I'm getting this, you know, this first touch to put it into a better position for me so that I can continue to try and do work with it, or I'm getting this to a teammate. But for the Ravens, it just doesn't feel like that's happening often enough. You know, the touches are kind of coming sporadically and they're getting shots up, but they're never in an amazing spot to put it through. They got 1 goal that game, but the Cougars just came back, had complete control, played it out patiently, and I mean, Again, I'm a bit nervous here for the Ravens heading into game number 3.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Mixta. I have to agree with you. I do see some own goals in the future for Nova. I do not, however, see a 4-1 for the Cougars. I don't know. I feel like the Ravens can bounce back. They need a change in mentality, and I'm hoping that comes from Clamps of all people. Because I know Clamps, 2 seasons ago, 1 season ago, excluding this season, 1 season ago, was drafted first round as an A player, which is like something unheard of. So he's been such a beneficiary to all of the rosters he's been on since then. His mentality is super good. I know he's really devoted. He practices like every week with his team, which is a lot more than some teams do in single A alone. He needs to step up as a leader, as a captain, to get his team together if they want to come back.
Yeah, absolutely. You really got to look at Clamps here to get stuff worked out with his team right now. Mickey's backwards. Biscuit's just going to force it through. And this was a similar situation again to our last series we saw with the Scorpions being up. But this time, it's not the team that's down opening up the scoring. It's not the team that's down making the changes. It's Biscuit immediately keeping the pressure going, immediately keeping that momentum going for the Cougars. And they're up 1 within 9 seconds.
Yeah, and the Ravens are just kind of giving them space across the field, in the midfield especially, which is so dangerous for players like Nova, because they're gonna, do that constantly. Just beat you to the ball all the time, because they are giving so much space and opportunity, and they're like, oh, we can kind of dally with the ball a little bit, for lack of a better word, and they just can't. They're getting beat to it every time.
And Biscuit already has 2 goals. 20 seconds in, already almost has a hat trick. Oh, well, I guess that's one way to give up a 1-goal lead, is 3 players up on the kickoff, as Curly cheated, and then Nova decided that Biscuit decided that perhaps that was his to go for on the wall, even though it was in a really bad spot, and it just ends up being slapped on into their own goal. But for the Cougars, that's not something that you're really worried about. You give up that goal and you're like, all right, listen, we messed up. We got too aggressive there. But that's something that can be easily fixed. The goals that they got through on the Ravens, however, those have been a consistent issue for the Ravens defense. And that's where you start to need to look at something and start to get a bit worried, because it's something that they haven't been able to find an answer to yet.
Yeah, and how they find that answer, to be honest with you, I'm not really sure. It's definitely not getting scored on by Curly, because they are now down 2-0, or 2 goals in this game.
Yeah, they find an easy goal, and then they end up giving one right back. Again, players committed up. Brent doesn't have a lot of boost, and frankly, it's a banger. 103 kilometers per hour there from Curly. Not a lot of people are going to be able to catch up to that, as 2-goal lead once again. And, again, I was really hoping that we would see some changes here, that we would see the play be different here for the Ravens. Maybe some more aggression, maybe looking for those infield passes more, or whatever it was. I was hoping to see something different, but it just doesn't feel like they've made the changes that they need to.
Yeah, and the Cougars with the 2-goal lead here can really just park the car and have a yard and sit down and relax and do whatever they want to, because, their rotations, unlike what we saw with the the Wolves in the last Independent Series, where they were setting all 3 players up at once, the Cougars had that rotation where, players are back, as we just saw there, and they can get those really large clears up that are so dangerous for the Ravens, because they're always getting caught up too far.
Curly gonna find a 4th goal, and this is just getting a little bit brutal here in game number 3. The Cougars have come out in excellent form, and the Ravens, I don't think this is what we wanted to see from them. Being that 2nd seed, it really did feel like they could come out, or we were hoping they could come out and show the play that we know them for, but they've been caught on the back foot, and it just feels like this is an off series for them, and it's unfortunately couldn't have arrived at a worse time, as the 4th or the 5th shot will be denied, but only for so long. There's still 3 minutes left in this game, and it's even worse than game number 2. The Cougars just extending this lead, and at this point, even if you manage to stop the bleeding, I don't imagine a comeback happening. It almost feels like game 3 is already in the bags.
Yeah, I feel like we don't need to talk about much, because it's all already been talked about, and they're just blatantly not fixed whatsoever.
You really, I mean, at this point for the Ravens, what you're looking at is fix your rotation. You gotta fix your touches as well. I think, while we've talked about a lot of issues for them with not looking for their passes and their offense, I think a lot of it also comes down to just the quality of their touches has not been very good. We're seeing a lot of hits that are weak, that don't really have a purpose, and all of those things result in their overall, their defense not looking the cleanest, their offense definitely looking like it's lacking the luster that we expect to see from it. And also means that they're, giving away a lot of pressure because their midfield challenges, they're just not able to win them or get really convincing hits past their own half.
And they had one there, and that might be, it's a tad bit off. But the idea is there. At least they're trying. I could give them some credit for that, at the least. They're not getting absolutely demolished at the moment. Granted, there's 2 minutes left. We might see Brazil. It is 1-5. They might just score. Cougars being the ones to score 2 more goals to go to Brazil. But the momentum here is kind of killed. The mentality is kind of killed. The play style is kind of killed. The Ravens are kind of killed. Like, there's not much they can do at this point unless they want to score another goal and possibly another 3 to come back in this game if they want to win the series.
Yeah, I mean, 1 minute and 39 seconds left. It's a 3-goal lead still. They get a bit of momentum back, which is good. You get yourself back into the momentum. You get yourself back into the feeling of playing that you're not just constantly on defense. So for the Ravens, this is a good start. I still don't imagine that they're going to be able to win this game, especially if the Cougars played out smart, and they have been very smart with playing out time. They've been very good about being patient with their touches and finding the strongest clears that they can to just kill as much of that clock away as they can. And they're doing exactly that here. We saw a delayed play on the sidewall. We saw immediately just a strong clear into the Ravens' half, and then they're not committing too hard. They have one player up. The other 2 are already rotating back or rotating forward from the midfield. It's just very safe play from the Cougars, and that's exactly what they need to do to secure themselves game number 3 and to secure themselves going on to match point, which I don't think a lot of people suspected. I think there are a lot of people saying 4-1, 4-2 Ravens, a save from Nova keeps that one out. The drop down again. Nova can't get to it. Or sorry, Curly can't get to it. It'll be a 3rd goal here for the Ravens, and they are starting to make a bit of a bout here for a comeback.
I mean, we're seeing some life. I mean, they kind of got shot from the get-go in game 1, and they've been bleeding out since. Maybe there's a Band-Aid. I don't know. You got shot, put a Band-Aid on it. Now you're looking okay. Get up, champ. It's nothing. Get some ice on it. The school nurse gives you some ice. I don't know. The metaphor here is they're looking okay in these last 6 seconds. And if they look okay in game 4, maybe they take game 4. But I don't think it's enough right now to fix the larger issues at place that are going to persist through the later stages of the series, if it even goes that far.
Yeah, and with this clock being killed away, as close as this will be to a comeback, to maybe getting possibly a tied game, the Cougars just playing out smart. They know that even if they give up goals, they have plenty of those to give. They just need to waste away the clock, and they've done exactly that. 16 seconds left, a 2-goal lead still standing. The Ravens made a good effort here towards the end, and we saw a few more, I think, the touches that we wanted to see from their offense and the passes that we definitely wanted to see. And so we have to hope, heading into game number 4 here, that they can bring that same mentality into it, that they can bring that same energy, because they need it. Because right now, it's the Cougars that are up 3-0. I don't even know what to say. They've just been playing wonderfully.
I kind of disagree. I feel like the Ravens have been playing less like Ravens and more like crows, and hoarding, and kind of going everywhere, and going for the food, and then not really thinking about the bigger picture of like what you're eating. They've got food poisoning, for lack of a better word. They pushed too many people up, and now they're suffering the consequences. They are a team that has a lot of potential, but it's just not happening today. They're not showing up, point blank. They can show up in game 4. They can show up in game 5. They can show up in game 6, possibly game 7. Do I think it's going to get that far? No. Do I think that the Ravens, if they showed up, could have won the series? Yes. Is that the point? No. The Cougars, they deserve these 3 wins at the end of the day. The Ravens were just outplayed overall.
Yeah. I mean, I think it definitely feels like they are having an off series, as I said. this doesn't feel like this is their best play. This isn't, I think, the form that we wanted to see from them, and it is definitely unfortunate that that's the case. But I think the Cougars, while not necessarily playing, outstandingly and amazing, they've been making the plays that they need to. They've been smart about this series. They've been doing what they need to. They've been really just playing to their opponents very well, considering the circumstances. And now they're on match point. Now they're up 3-0. The Ravens going to look to start off early, but Bren getting in the way of his teammate. It doesn't matter. Clamps finds the 50-50 through. And perhaps for the Ravens, this is what they need to get this comeback started off.
You're seeing what I'm seeing? A lead for the Ravens?
Oh my god.
In playoffs? Oh
what?
My gosh. Unheard of. Will they keep it? I don't think so. But it's okay. They have a lead. We'll see what they do with it.
It's a good start. And it's definitely what we wanted to see from them, as Biscuit almost finds a pretty insane angle there. Cougars going to be hunting to tie this game up for the first time this series. They've been ahead every other time as a nice infield tap. Clamps will be there. Clamps again going to get this one cleared out, and so far the Ravens going to be perfectly content to sit back and kind of play similar to game one, where I think that was kind of the closest game that we saw. The back and forth was the most even. And now that they have a lead, they're probably going to be perfectly willing to try and just extend this out. Brandon, nice touch onto the backboard. It will just be cleared away. No third man committed up. Cougars still hunting for this equalizer. This could be it. A miss from two players. Biscuit for the finish, but it's saved away by Bren. Mickey will find the clear out, and the Ravens keep out the equalizing goal.
I mean, they've been up for almost a minute now. Looking pretty strong, I do have to say. This is the Ravens I kind of expected to show up. And, they showed up a little bit late, fashionably late, but it is what it is, and you got to work with it, and they are working with it pretty well at the moment. Cougars seeming to be a little bit under distress, to say the least. This newfound play style coming out for the Ravens has caught them off guard. I say that until this open net will be scored by Nova, of course.
Nova's been doing a lot of work here, and he does make a really nice touch here. Gets it by two, and then just has to place it in around the third defender. Bren, not a lot of boost to work with. Barely manages to get back to even find a touch. The Cougars tie it up, and again, even when behind, Cougars just playing this out very calmly, very calculated with their play style. Bren looks for the drop down, and that's the plays that we've been wanting to see from the Ravens.
Yes, exactly. And I'm glad that we saw some form of passing play. It's the first time they've really passed the entire series, and it's worked out perfectly. Keep doing it, please. For those of you that are interested, we have a little bit of an upset. The AAA game between the Bobcats and the Dolphins actually went in favor of the Dolphins, which is very, very unexpected. So for those of you AAA players that are watching us right now, be on the lookout for the Dolphins, because they are on a streak.
2-1 right now for the Ravens. Looking to make it 3. Clamps gonna put it in, and it looks like that passive play style from the Cougars not gonna work out here to try and get back into this game. The Ravens starting to make the plays that we want to see. Again, Clamps stepping forward. Bren, they're looking for each other on the passes. They're looking for these touches with a purpose. They're getting it to open space. They're getting it to a position where they can follow it up, and that's making a world of difference right now.
I just don't want any false hope. I don't.
You don't want to be betrayed?
No, I feel like this is exactly what's going to happen too. I'm so contradicted right now.
I mean, there's 2 minutes and 52 seconds left in this game. Plenty of time. We'll have to see. The Ravens, they have a sizable lead here, but of course, we saw the Cougars score 6 goals in the last game, so we can't underestimate their ability to score on the Ravens. But this is a completely different look now that everything is on the line. Ravens definitely playing with a lot more vigor here in game number 4. You don't want to go down in a sweep. Your first game of playoffs, you're the 2nd seed. They've obviously had a great season, and you don't want to have such a disappointing showing, and they're obviously showing that willpower here in this game. Number 4 is a lot of these touches here for the Cougars aren't good. We're starting to see a few double commits come out from them, and the ball is just being kept in their half.
Yeah, and I think Dirty put it nicely. Did they turn their monitors on? When will the monitor turn off? These are the questions of life. And unfortunately, I don't have an answer for either of them right now, but I do have to say, they are looking better. And at the end of the day, that's really all they can do, being down 3-0 in this round 1 playoff game.
Clam's going to find the 4th goal for the Ravens, and that might seal it. I mean, we've seen comebacks. I don't think we've seen a 3-goal comeback, though, from the team that's behind. And right now, the Cougars getting caught out at every turn. And, I mean, a complete turnaround from everything that we saw before. So I'm not really sure exactly how to analyze it. But Curly...
Okay. Interesting. I don't have any words for that. I really don't. It happened. Congratulations. I'm so proud of you. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what kind of a play that is, but Curly giving some life here back to the Cougars. Maybe a bit of hope for them to try and get this game back into at least a manageable position, which is what you want. Even if you lose, you want to get yourself into a good spot. That's what the Ravens did. But the Ravens, they're not going to let the Cougars feel comfortable here at the end of game number 4. They're going to put in a 5th.
At the end of the day, I'm just really glad their spirit is not killed. Because I know how demoralizing it is to work so hard to get to the finals and being your 2nd seed, and then getting absolutely crushed in the first 3 games, if not the entire series. It's a hard thing to work with mentally. And I'm really happy to see that they're kind of thriving right now, in the sense that they're not giving up. And that just, gives me some aspirations for the future.
Demo onto Mickey, and yeah, I mean, I think it's strange because obviously the Cougars had an extremely good 3 games there, and the Ravens come back here. They obviously, with everything on the line, they really go all out, and I think that's what was missing from their offense. It felt like they weren't approaching it with everything. They weren't giving their shots. They weren't giving each of their touches their all. It wasn't 100% at all times. And now that they have gone all out here, it's just a completely different look. It's a completely different feeling, and you have to. This is the level that they're going to need to play at here if they want to try and make this reverse sweep. They have to play this fast. They have to play this efficiently. And they have to just do this well in every single game, because the Cougars, they're still making this close. Even though it's 5-2, they're still making plays. They're not really backing down. They're still getting on the offense. They're still looking for their own opportunities. (6-2) for the Ravens as they put that one through. Clamps gets the end of it, and for the Cougars here, they slowed down that game, but that last goal going in does just hurt a little bit. You weren't able to really kill off the momentum of your opponents before the end of the game.
I was definitely muted, wasn't I?
You were.
Okay. I was saying congratulations, Mixa. You called it. The Game 4 own goal from Nova happened. If you are into betting, if you are of age to bet, I would recommend doing it, because that was brilliantly played out. But the Ravens, they won a game! Woo! Yeah, Ravens. I mean, they played extremely well. Clamps, like I said, or hoping he would at least, stepped it up. Personally, I don't think my soul can take a reverse sweep. I don't know. I'm a little demoralized that it turned out this way, but I'm just not prepared for this game to go any further than the Game 6. Honestly, I'm not sure about you, but
I mean, yeah, I'm a bit tired after that Game 7 that we just had.
Yeah.
So we'll see, though. We'll see. I feel like the Cougars there definitely were a bit surprised. You could tell they were caught off guard by the Ravens coming out with such a different play style, for sure. So coming to game number 5 here, we'll have to see what their response is, because they did get that under control towards the end. They found 2 goals, then 2 more went in on their end. But I am curious. Do the Cougars now play more aggressive? Can the Ravens especially keep up the same level of play that we saw from them? Is I think the most important question. Can they keep up that level of play? Can they come with that same energy into game number 5? As it does look like we are going to have to reset the lobby.
Granted, that question is a hypothetical, but if I were to answer it right now, I'd say no. Again, I've really lost all hope. I've gotten a little bit psycho. I'm a little frustrated, honestly, but it's okay. And I feel like the Eagles organization, we're gonna get past this, right? You know, we're what we consider to be built different, in the sense that all our teams can do whatever they want, but at the end of the day, the major team's the only thing that matters, and we will win the majors. Mark my words, Eagles #1 today or this season.
As we get the lobby reset here, one of the players, I think, did disconnect from the actual lobby, so we're going to be trying to get that back up for you, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, that's Poulter's take on it. And for me, I mean, I look at that game and I say, you know, the Ravens come out, obviously they know that they have to win that game. But after you win that game 4, I think the next hardest step is keeping that same level of urgency to your play. You know, as I think you were kind of saying, is once you hit that game 5, you already won the game 4. You saved yourself, but it's the mentality to approach each next game with that same level of aggression, with that same level of play. As I'm being told that I should get on in here because they're already in. Let's make no early goals.
They have a goal already.
You know, as soon as I say it.
I mean, I think that server reset kind of had an effect in the sense that the Ravens at least had some form of momentum, and then the server reset's like, oh, refresh, that never happened. And the Cougars are now on the upper hand, in my opinion.
Yeah, the Cougars, they start off with that early goal, and that's the way that you want to start it off, you know. For a team that just won that game number 4, you need that momentum. You need that energy, you know, getting that first goal, shutting down your opponents. But here you drop down the first goal, you lose it. The Cougars obviously are ready to make those adjustments, and we're seeing them, I think we're seeing them bring about even more aggression than they did before. I think they realized that they were playing too passive. They were a bit too comfortable in that game 4. And that's what let the Ravens come out and get as many goals as they did. And now they're looking to make the plays. Curly on the dribble, has one to beat. Can't get it around Clamps. As more touches coming through, will keep it in the Ravens' corner. Bren gonna finally get it out, but doesn't have another touch to follow it up on. And this from Mickey means that Clamps' last one back has to clear this one out. Will do so. Nova is gonna get 2 around the last defender. Curly tries to drop it down to Biscuit. Biscuit, no boost, but it did have options there other than just the shot. I would have loved to see the pass over to Nova. Those are where those options are available. You want to see the Cougars, with those plays, make the best of it. Nova looking for the shot, saved away by Bren. The dunk almost goes in. Biscuit can't find it around Bren again. Fighting 2 back-to-back saves. Bren already has a savior medal, keeping the Ravens within 1.
Yeah, and they need to not concede at this very moment. They need to be the next to score. There's no way they go down by 2 goals in the series and come back. The mentality, it just can't take that. Mine can't either. It's just so vital that they keep this game within 1 goal. And I'll repeat this as it happens, and hopefully this is not a goal. They need to keep it close at all times. There's no way they go down by too much, 2 goals, 3 goals, whatever, and come back. Once you go down by 2, they're just gone. They're demoralized. I'm having a mental breakdown. I don't know what to tell you. I'm losing it. Titan, help me.
You're losing it as Curly finds the save. The follow-up's gonna just be slightly off. The Ravens trying to force this through with everything they have. Low boost on the side of the Cougars. The shot from Bren. He does it on the defensive end, and he's gonna do it on the offense as well, tying it up.
I have been relieved from my mental breakdown. I've returned to normal status. This game is 1-1. It's anyone's game. Now, I mean, the playing field's even, except for the fact that, you know, Cougars have 2 more goals, 2 more games in the series ahead. But we don't talk about that. We talk about this game, and this game is 1-1 with 2:30 left, and there is hope for either team.
This touch off the sidewall. The Cougars have plenty of offense, but they haven't been able to really do too much since that first goal. Curly looking for the Doomsday dish, is gonna find it. As soon as I say it, Curly makes the solo play, and both of these teams seem to have come awake after that game 4, realizing they need to make the opportunities, they need to create the openings, and Curly does just that.
I'm breaking a sweat. I don't know. It's getting a little hot in here. Titan. I don't know if it's just me, but I'm feeling the pressure. I'm feeling the heat from the Cougars right now, and it's coming out in some force.
Absolutely wonderful game number 5 on our hands. Both teams, I think, playing with absolutely everything that they have, which is what we wanted, which is, you know, this is everything that we wanted to see from them. We didn't want to see either of these teams kind of go down without a fight, and that is exactly what we are getting. The Cougars found the response, but the Ravens are still playing to the level that I think we wanted. But now that's 3 players committed up. Biscuit has an open net. Biscuit's gonna put it away. 3-1 right now for the Cougars.
See, these are the 2 goals that I was referring to earlier that they could not concede. You know, my memory's not that great, but I do remember saying that, and I do remember there was not a way for Ravens to come back from this. And you know what they say, Poulter's always right. It's a famous saying in the RLPC. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say GG's because this series is over.
It feels like it. I mean, there's still time to go. You can't doubt the comeback here for the Ravens, but it does feel like this 2-goal lead, you know, as soon as it's gone by that 1-goal lead, it has felt like it's been so insurmountable. It's been so hard for the team to come back. Curly! It's just been absolutely on fire in these past 2 games.
Yeah, certainly a carrion, if not a leader for the Cougars. He is really rocking the field in all terms of everything at the moment. He is a rock in a hard place, with a hard place being a very easy place because the Ravens defense is very open right now. But he's just putting pressure on constantly, and the Ravens cannot keep up with it. And his pace is really immaculate, and I know he's a rookie, so I think he's really been fitting in very well with the Cougars.
Yeah, it's been absolutely outstanding to see from the Cougars. I think this game has been their best play. You know, as you said, the first 3 games, it wasn't necessarily anything extremely impressive. They were making solo plays. They were doing what they needed, but the Ravens were obviously off. But in this game, even when it was close, they managed to take the step ahead. They managed to just come out and even outperform their opponents who were playing with everything on the line. They saw that and they said, you know what, we can do better. We can play at a higher level. And they've done absolutely that. Curly stepping up, and as you know, as much work as Brent is doing, 4 saves on his side, has a goal. It's just not enough to surpass the teamwork of the Cougars right now. They're, you know, individually, they're all making it to the touches. Each and every one of their challenges is meant to go to a place where either they or their teammate can follow it up, and they're creating openings for each other. They're forcing the defense to respond and to, you know, use boost to get in position. And right now, 5-1 is going to be the final score. This is it over. This is all that she wrote for the Ravens. The number 2 seed getting defeated. The Cougars playing, I think, you know, while it might not have been the best at points, an outstanding series in the end, 4-1. What an upset.
I only have one word to describe this series in my emotions, and that is Sag. It was Sag for the Ravens. It was Sag that came in here being the favorites, and it was Sag that came out getting absolutely destroyed by the Cougars. Because that is what happened. I mean, the Ravens, great team. If they showed up, I really do feel like it was going to be an amazing series. But they didn't. They showed up maybe game 4, sure. That's not showing up for the series. It's showing up for a game. And it's about the consistency of coming out to the game and playing well, and then playing well again and again and again. And I'm hoping that as this team develops chemistry, if they choose to stay together for the upcoming season, that they get that consistency and they get that confidence in each other, that they will be able to be there for each other constantly.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like there's still a lot of ways for them to improve, even though, you know, they're already such a great squad. But I definitely do feel like they are absolutely there's a long ways to go. And as for the Cougars, they are going to keep going on. They're going to keep going forward. They are into the semifinals, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to wrap it up for us tonight for these last 2 matches. I have been Titan on Fire. I have been joined by the wonderful Poulter RL. Streaming, we have had Irony, so go send some love to him. Again, all the people who stream here are all so wonderful and so great for doing it. We're going to be back. We're going to be back on Thursday. We're going to have more playoff matches. We're going to be in the second round, the semifinals going on. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope to see you back on Thursday. Again, this has been RLPC, and we're in playoff week, baby. Let's go.
Have a good night, everybody.